primary election day in Wisconsin. We'll bring you live coverage from some of the top candidates' watch parties and what you should keep an eye on as the results come in.
Plus, Republican lawmakers are sounding off after the FBI executed a search warrant at former President Trump's Florida home. The latest on the investigation into missing classified documents.
And big news from tennis star Serena Williams as she announces that she will soon retire. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Wisconsin's primary election is in full swing.
It is a chance to narrow down the candidates who will be on the ballot for November's general election. We have live team coverage of the primary tonight.
Our reporters are at several watch parties as candidates wait for their votes to be tallied. We'll check in with each of them in just a bit. But first, it has been a steady but relatively slow stream of voters so far in the city of Madison.
Turnout numbers from the city clerk's office at 11 a.m. this morning were 9%. That is down from 4 years ago when Democrats had a contentious primary race for governor. But Connie Fair, who runs the voting site at Sequoia Library, says absentee responses have been good.
I would say that this has been the slowest that I've seen in terms of absentees that have been requested, and then also the level that have come back has been high of those that have been requested.
If you still have not returned your absentee ballot, just a reminder, they must be in by the time the polls close tonight. That's at 8 o'clock, and you can still vote in person as long as you are in line by that time. The name that most people know in the Republican race for governor since early on is the former Lieutenant Governor, Rebecca Kleefisch.
Initially, it looked like her race to lose, but a lot has changed, including the candidates, since Kleefisch announced her candidacy almost a year ago. Still, hopes are high with the Kleefisch camp tonight, where that name recognition could play big. Tahlil Mohadeen is live in Oconomowoc, where supporters will gather soon. Tahlil?
Eric and Susan, as you said, we are at the Cornerstone Bar in Oconomowoc, and right now things are pretty quiet outside of the bar, but upstairs campaign staff are still setting up, so it's a little early for Rebecca Kleefisch herself to arrive, but we know that she isn't too far. Earlier today, in the town of Concord, the former lieutenant governor cast her vote in today's primary, and that's about 15 minutes away. And Kleefisch's campaign staff tell me the gubernatorial candidate is not likely to even make an appearance at her watch party until the election is called. But of course, we can expect to hear from the mother of two once the results are in. Now, Kleefisch's watch party will officially begin at 8 p.m. That's after the polls close, and we'll be here throughout. But for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, Tahlil, thank you. Kleefisch opponent, someone who joined the race a bit late, but has generated a ton of interest, especially among right-wing conservatives.
Businessman Tim Michels drew President Trump's endorsement and campaigned with him in Waukesha County last week. Waukesha is where Michels' camp will gather tonight, and it's where we find our Arman Rahman, who's getting ready to go into the venue very soon. Arman?
Yeah, Eric and Susan, setup still underway here at the Tuscan Banquet Center in Waukesha. We are told no supporters yet, and they're just getting ready inside. All of his campaign staff for Michels, who is set to arrive again a little around 8 o'clock when those polls close. And Michels himself was hitting the polls earlier today, as you can see. And it's gearing up to be a neck-in-neck race. Marquette University's most recent poll from June had Michels ahead of Kleefisch by just a point among Republican voters. But an Emerson College poll from this past weekend found Kleefisch holding a 2% lead. Michels also fresh off that endorsement of President Trump just last week. So still anybody's race. We'll be live here all night from the Michels camp in Waukesha as those votes come in. For now, in Waukesha, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Arman, thank you. The campaign to take on Senator Ron Johnson on the Democratic side is far less thrilling tonight. It's essentially a one-man race.
Mandela Barnes' main competitors dropped off in quick succession, but those names are still on the ballot tonight. Catherine Merck, live in Milwaukee, where Barnes is from. The Democrat could be one of the first to speak tonight. Catherine?
Susan and Eric, it's still too early for celebration here at Mandela Barnes' watch party in Milwaukee, but that doesn't mean his campaign doesn't have a lot to be excited about heading into the results tonight. As for the past couple of weeks, Mandela Barnes' competitors have dropped out of the race, like you said, making him essentially the last one left with a couple of exceptions. So that means he's feeling pretty confident heading into tonight. Also tonight, we're expecting Mandela Barnes to watch and hear his party talk about rallying behind him heading into defeating Ron Johnson this November. We'll be here all night and keep bringing to you live coverage on air and on our website at channel3000.com. Reporting live in Milwaukee, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
And Catherine, thank you. Not only are we following these races, there are several others that are gaining attention as well. One of them even on the national scale.
Our Brady Mallory is breaking down a few of them. Brady?
Wisconsin's Assembly Speaker primary is a race that could have national implications due to a key endorsement. Former President Donald Trump endorsed Speaker Robin Voss's primary challenger, Adam Steen. In his endorsement of Steen, Trump had said Voss had not done enough to investigate the 2020 election. Voss has repeatedly said the results of the 2020 election cannot be overturned. And then the former Supreme Court Justice, Michael Gableman, who was hired by Voss to investigate the election, is also endorsing Steen. If Steen beats Voss for a ticket to the general election, it could be a sign of the former president's strength still within the party. We're also watching a few local sheriff's races. Two Democrats, Curtis Fell and Troy Egger, are running to replace the outgoing sheriff in Rock County. Now in Dodge County, Sheriff Dale Schmidt is facing challenger Mark Kulker. Both are running as Republicans.
Brady, thank you. News 3 Now has you covered this election day. You'll find everything you need to know about today's primary at channel3000.com.
That includes where to vote and what to bring with you. Just look for the Campaign 2022 banner at the top of our homepage. Stay with us tonight for the latest election results. We'll have live coverage with the top candidates, and you can follow along with our online maps to find out who is winning where as the votes are tallied tonight. Now let's get a look at the weather. Julian Seawright is on the weather patio. Couldn't ask for nicer weather on Election Day, Julian.
That's right. After last week where we had humidity, heat, and even storms from last weekend going into our Monday morning, man, this is something that we've just been asking for, and it definitely delivered. Really gorgeous conditions throughout our Election Day. Still close to around seasonable as our high is around 80 degrees, but throughout much of our afternoon, it was nothing short but beautiful outside here in southern Wisconsin. Take a look at temperatures in southern Wisconsin itself. We're looking at 79 degrees in Janesville, 77 for Platteville, and La Crosse around 82 degrees for us. We're all pretty mild as we're getting in throughout the rest of this evening. Now take a look at our dew points. Some of those dew points have climbed just a bit, but overall we're still rather comfortable as we continue throughout the rest of our Tuesday evening. Dry conditions are what we're seeing on our radar and is what we're going to be expecting as we head towards tonight. All the activity is really towards the south. We are starting to see some showers starting to develop just outside of Texas and going to move its way into Louisiana. But for us, we're going to be looking at dry conditions throughout the rest of the next couple of days, but we may see a couple of changes later on. But aside from that, we do have 3 hours left for Election Day voting. So here's our look at our forecast. Things are still going to be rather mild and plenty of sunshine as well. And we're going to have a look at what else is coming up in just a few moments. Until then, let's toss it back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Next at 5, Albuquerque police say they've detained the primary suspect in the murders of 4 Muslim men. The police chief says law enforcement tracked down the car believed to be involved and detained the driver. Police have not officially said the attacks are connected, but they are investigating whether that is the case. 3 of the 4 victims were killed within 2 weeks of each other. The 4th gunned down after leaving a funeral service for the 2 killed before him.
Congressional Republicans are slamming the Justice Department and calling for investigations one day after the FBI searched former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. The search was connected to a Justice Department investigation of claims by the National Archives after the agency found 15 boxes of presidential records at the home earlier this year. The documents include classified material. The former president and his family are blaming President Biden and the Democrats for the search warrant. White House officials say the president was unaware of that search.
They want to attack a guy who they view as his greatest threat, is Biden's greatest threat.
The president was not briefed, was not aware of it. The Justice Department conducts investigations independently, and we leave any law enforcement matters to them.
Under the Presidential Records Act, documents received and sent by the president are required to be preserved. Executing a search warrant on a former president has never been done before. Since the search, protesters for and against the former president have gathered outside Trump-owned properties in multiple states.
President Joe Biden celebrated the U.S. decision to ratify Sweden and Finland's applications to join NATO today. The president noted the allies are more important than ever after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He also said said the two nations will improve the overall strength of the alliance. The 29 other nations must also ratify the invitation before the countries can officially join.
World-renowned tennis player Serena Williams announced her retirement this morning in a Vogue article. Williams, a 23-time Grand Slam winner, said she's going to focus more on being a mom to her 4-year-old daughter Olympia, her spiritual goals, and discovering new sides to herself. Gracing the cover of the magazine's September issue, Williams says she doesn't want to call this a retirement, but rather an evolution. Williams is set to play professionally one final time at this year's U.S. Open, which starts August 29th. Next at 5, Julian has more on our latest complete forecast.
Plus, there's only a few more hours to cast your vote. We'll check in with political reporter Will Keneally about which races to watch tonight. And then coming up at 6, we'll have your latest primary election news. We'll check back in with all of our reporters out in the field.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
With the right tools and a little hard work, you can do it yourself. And with the right kind of paint, you can finish the job faster. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains exceeds your expectations with products that can cover your walls in one coat. So instead of another coat of paint, you can finally get outside. One coat paint means time better spent. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, exclusively at Menards.
Oh, wow. Packer scratch games are back, and there's a chance to win 2 season tickets for 2 years?
Piggies in a blankie.
Thank you.
Wisconsin Lottery Packers scratch games are back with instant cash prizes and a bonus drawing for 2 Packer season tickets for 2 years. With prizes this exciting, everything feels like an opportunity for a big play. Available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
All right, go Pack Go, man.
Sergenian's 92-year history means you pay $92 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 18-month financing. Local, sustainable Sergenians.
Ooh, Kohler, of course. When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luxstone. The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
The window guy can do patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors.
We do patio doors at scottthewindowguy.com.
How do we make your glasses the same day? It's all done in store. Our skilled techs handle your glasses from start to finish, getting them back the same day. Quality, affordable glasses made in store, only at iMart Express.
Commercials, flyers, texts, emails, all directed toward getting your vote. After the bombardment of information, we talked to voters at the polls on their experience of the process. Then updates from the polls. We examine how the turnout has been so far and what that might mean for the results. That's tonight at 6.
When the More Than Pink Walk returns after a 2-year COVID break, one super supporter will be front and center.
Breast cancer is something that we all have connections to.
Charlotte Teleste learns why Coleman's local mission is especially important to him. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back once again. It is primary election day in Wisconsin. Just under 3 hours left now for you to get to the polls.
At the top of the ballot tonight are the primary races for Senate and governor, of course. And breaking down what to watch tonight is our political reporter, Will Keneally. Will, big night for you.
Good to be with you guys.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
So obviously the big race tonight is the race for the Republican primary for governor. What are you specifically watching for? You're looking for specific geographic regions, I assume, right here?
Exactly, yeah. Turnout is going to be key here. So looking especially at the WOW counties, that's suburban Milwaukee, that's kind of the heartland of Republicans in Wisconsin.
Right, Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties.
Yep, exactly. And that's where Clayfish is from. So if we have a lot of turnout there, that might play well into Clayfish compared to Michaels, who we might see get some more support from kind of around the state, especially the Fox Valley as well. Yeah, also looking at Dane County too, obviously here, we could expect to see that go for the insiders. A little bit more of a familiar face in the state capitol, in the county that houses the state capitol. Interestingly enough, so when Clayfish ran the first time for lieutenant governor in 2010, she actually lost Dane County, kind of that outsider mentality. She lost to what was then a current state rep.
Okay. Now, her challenger, of course, businessman Tim Michels, has the endorsement of former President Donald Trump, and we'll be watching tonight to see how much of an influence that has. Really, the dueling endorsements of Trump for Michels and Pence for Rebecca Clayfish. But for Tim Michels specifically, what will you be watching for?
Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see kind of how that Trump endorsement plays out. In this latest Emerson poll that we saw come out over the weekend, it's really interesting to see about half of the respondents say that they didn't really factor in the Trump endorsement when they made their decision. But those that did, it split more for people that do care, did find a favorable reaction to that Trump endorsement. So we'll see kind of how that plays out.
So what does this day mean for Democrats? I mean, the Barnes thing seems to be kind of a foregone conclusion here. Maybe that's leading to a little bit of slow movement today at the polls in Dane County.
Right, exactly. So it's essentially wrapped up. That kind of top line ballot contest is, you know, essentially decided for Mandela Barnes. There are a couple kind of down ballot for Democrats. That will be Secretary of State, for example, or Lieutenant Governor. We did kind of ask some political science experts to see whether that might have Democrats jump over, crossover, and vote in the Republican side. They think maybe not so much, especially for that top line race in the Republican race for governor. Not a lot of difference for Democrats between a Clayfish or a Michels, so we expect that Democrats may stay kind of in their lane in the Democratic primary here.
All right, so it's going to be an
exciting night.
An interesting night ahead. Any other races you wanted to touch on? I mean, that Assembly Speaker's race, Robin Vos over in the Burlington area. Trump a late endorsement. Is it going to be enough for his opponent?
Yeah, it came very late, so we don't know that that might be enough to necessarily move the needle, but again, kind of in that proxy for Trump's kind of power in Wisconsin politics, we will see. The other thing I would also look forward to, especially in that race for governor on the Republican side, is kind of southern, kind of south of Milwaukee, kind of Racine, Kenosha County. That could be kind of key. It plays a little bit into that suburban Milwaukee mentality, but also a little bit Rust Belt-y, could be Trump country down there.
And also, Lieutenant Governor, there are 8 Republicans vying for the second highest office in the state and 2 Democrats. So that's going to be a very interesting race to watch tonight as well. Yes, because whoever emerges from the primary will pair with who wins the gubernatorial primary tonight. So it's going to get interesting before November.
Yeah, and a lot of names too on the
new names.
Side. Yes,
new names,
exactly.
yeah.
All right, well, busy night ahead. Thanks for joining us.
Yes,
thank you, Will.
with you.
Well, researchers say rainwater across all parts of the world should no longer be considered safe to drink because of the presence of something called forever chemicals. The study is based on U.S. environmental protection standards for levels of the chemicals known as PFAS, which are continuously cycled through our environment. The study was published in the journal Environmental Science and Technology. What does the forecast have in store for us? Julian is here in the studio with the answer. Julian?
Well, what's in store is something that's just marvelous for us. Blue skies and pretty nice conditions in terms of temperatures throughout the next couple of days. Taking a look at what we're going to be expecting throughout the rest of this evening. Our high right now around 80 degrees, but we're going to see temperatures into the 70s throughout the rest of this evening and going into tonight. But overnight, temperatures will start to cool down into those 60s and even into the upper 50s for some areas. Pretty dry throughout the upper Midwest, but all the activity is to the south, where we're seeing a bunch of scattered showers and even some storms that are starting to develop just outside of Texas and heading their way towards the Alabama and Louisiana area. But for us, it's going to be pretty quiet, pretty comfortable. Honestly, just flat out A+ type of grade temperature and conditions for us. 59 degrees here for tonight. It's going to be mostly clear skies, and winds are going to be very light as well. One thing we're going to be watching for is on our surface map as of right now. We have a high pressure system, which is going to be keeping things rather dry and pretty quiet, but thanks to our friends in Canada, we're going to be looking at another cold front to roll its way in by the time we get into our Thursday, which will bring back some even cooler temperatures later into the week. But going into tonight, this is what we're going to be expecting for us. 60-degree temperatures, but as you can note, we're not seeing much, even cloud cover or even precipitation for us here in southern Wisconsin. Going into our morning commute, still rather quiet, and by the time lunchtime hits, folks, it's going to be another great day to just be outside and enjoy the weather. As we go into around the 5 p.m. commute, temperatures will be a bit bit warmer, not overly warmer, but still just a tad bit, as we're going to be into those lower to middle 80s, especially here in Madison. And some developments just to the north outside of the Dells could start to see some showers potentially start to roll their way in. That could start to trickle their way into Dane County by the time we get into our early night hours, but it's going to be very isolated, not very widespread, and even brief. We're going to see that start to dwindle out by the time we get into the midnight hour, and overnight, as of right now, still not looking at too much in terms of seeing any of those showers or storms to really develop for us. But as we get into our Thursday morning, we're going to see that cold front rolling its way through, and temperatures are going to be back to those cooler conditions once again. 75 degrees around lunchtime, and it's not going to be much warmer by the time we get into our Thursday evening, though we will see a bit more cloud cover, not looking at too much in terms of rain. And as we take a look at our precipitation as of right now, potential from those showers that could start to roll in, not looking at too much, around 1/10 of an inch, maybe even less for Dane County, but areas just to the north could see a bit more, but still not a lot of rain is going to be expected for us. Our three things we're going to need to know is that we're going to stay mainly dry throughout the next few days until we get into next week. Then we're going to see those mid-80s rolling in for our Wednesday, but outside of that, again, still going to stay into the 70s throughout much of our forecast. A quick look at our traffic as of right now. Eastbound is still on the slower side, but overall still not too bad on the belt line as we're going into our 5 p.m. commutes. And for the interstate, still all green. That's going to do it for right now. Let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. And coming up, how parents can help their kids choose the best sport for them. The details after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
At USA Insulation, we fix hot homes. Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, and to celebrate, we're stacking the deals. Buy any sofa or sectional and get 20% off your second purchase. Now for the stacking, get another 20% off both items.
20 plus another 20?
Yep, and there's more. Buy any recliner or accent chair and get 20% off your second purchase. And stack an additional 20% off both items.
Discounts? On top of discounts?
Plus, we are still offering great special financing at Slumberland Furniture.
I'm Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
And he got so upset at me. Oh my God. Look. No way. She has definitely got some work done.
Doesn't even look the same anymore.
Talk about an extreme makeover. I wonder how much money she spent on those upgrades.
Hey! The house looks great, right? 3 years, no interest on roofing and siding from Feldco.
Right now, get 3 years, no interest on Feldco Roofing and Siding.
3 years, no interest on Feldco Roofing and Siding ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A new study from the University of Konstanz in Germany finds that arachnids fall into the deepest stage of sleep, REM sleep, just like humans do. One study observed jumping spiders specifically, discovering they experience twitching and uncontrolled leg movements while they sleep.
They have little bursts of activity throughout the night that reoccur really regularly. So I personally do think that they're experiencing visual dreams, but it will be very difficult to prove that scientifically.
Researchers say this is the first time scientists have seen REM sleep in animals without spines or backbones. The findings are published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of the Journal of Sciences.
That's more like a nightmare, that story.
Yeah, exactly.
With the fall sports season basically here, parents are signing their kids up to participate. Sports, of course, can teach kids values like the importance of working as a team, staying active, and making new friends. But it's equally important that kids know they have a choice.
Keep physical fitness for children a positive experience. If a child sees on TV gymnastics or figure skating or football and they decide, I want to try that, let them try that.
Davis says if your child's interested in individualized sports, let them try that as well. If your child doesn't know what they're interested in, let them take a lesson or two in more than one sport.
We'll get a final check on your first warn forecast when we come back.
At TSR, we transform your old, beat-up concrete into a beautiful, durable surface in one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings. We specialize in garages, patios, pool decks, basements, and more. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We start by grinding it down, then we apply the base coat and chip and seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are beautiful, durable, ridiculously easy to clean, and are backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. Our in-house team is ready to answer any questions that you have before and after the install. And right now on all projects, we're offering 15% off. Call the number shown below or visit our website for your new floor today.
One-day floor. Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
A lot of Medicare health plans have benefits that are specific to your county. So why would you call a national 1-800 number when your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better?
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Felco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. New details on the search of Mar-a-Lago by federal law enforcement officials, the documents seized by authorities, and how those events could impact Donald Trump's political future. Plus, after months of pain at the pump, Americans are finally getting some relief from soaring fuel prices. We'll tell you how much lower gas prices could go. And these kids learning valuable life lessons on the wrestling mat. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And Julian's back as we take one final check of the forecast. It's absolutely beautiful out there today.
And it's going to be like that for much of the week, which is the awesome part of it. As we take a look at the 3 things we'll need to know, it's going to be dry for quite a while. We're not going to see much in terms of rain or any real changes until we get into next week. But until then, folks, soak this up. Mid to 80s are going to be for Wednesday, and outside of that, the 70s are going to continue to take over for the foreseeable future. As we take a look at what we're seeing for us, even heading towards the weekend, into the lower 80s, could see some showers or thunderstorms developing, but overall, we're looking at 70s really just hanging in, which is great for this time of year for us.
Especially for August. Wow.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's because normally around this time of year, we're around 81 degrees, so being into the 70s at this point, amazing.
Good stuff.
And the humidity was gone that we experienced over the weekend, where the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Very nice out there today.
Honestly, yeah.
All right, Julian, thank you. Our election coverage will continue in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6. We'll check in back with all of our reporters who are live out in the field today. And stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.